Welcome, gents. Sometimes in life you might suddenly notice that a Sigma male has completely cut you off. No explanation, no warning, no argument, just silence. This can feel confusing and even painful, especially if you thought things were fine. But here's the truth. Sigma males do not usually act without reason. Just like a doctor tells you to pay attention to the little signals in your body before they turn into bigger problems, you should pay attention to the signals a Sigma gives before he disappears from your life. Think of it this way. If your body keeps reacting badly to unhealthy food, you eventually stop eating it to protect yourself. A Sigma male does the same with people. If being around you feels toxic, draining, or disrespectful, he cuts it off the same way you would cut out junk food to stay healthy. This is not about him being cold or heartless. It is about self-preservation. Sigma males protect their peace the same way you would protect your physical health. For example, if you had a friend who constantly brings stress or never respects your boundaries, it feels similar to carrying around unnecessary weight. At some point, it begins to harm you more than it helps. That is why it is so important to understand the reasons behind this behavior. If you want to know the real triggers that make a Sigma male walk away without looking back, stay with me until the end of this video. Get ready, gents, as we explore 13 reasons why you Sigma cut people off for your peace of mind. Number 1, you don't keep promises. One of the fastest ways to make a Sigma male cut you off is by not keeping your promises. To a Sigma, your word is your bond. When you say you will do something, they take it seriously. If you fail to follow through, even on small things, it does not just disappoint them, it signals that you cannot be trusted. Think about it like a medical treatment plan. If your doctor prescribes medicine that you must take every day, but the pharmacy gives you empty bottles instead, you will feel betrayed and let down. The trust between you and the system breaks. Sigma males feel the same way when someone gives them empty promises. This is not just about big life-changing commitments. Even the small things matter. If you say, "I'll call you tomorrow," and never do, a Sigma male does not see it as a harmless mistake. He sees it as a reflection of your reliability. Over time, broken promises build up like untreated infections. They slowly damage the relationship until the only option left is to cut it off completely. Psychologists have long emphasized how important trust is in any human bond. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, Rempel, Holmes and Zanner, 1985, consistent reliability and keeping commitments are key to building long-term trust. Without trust, relationships collapse quickly, no matter how much love or history exists. For Sigma males who already value independence and peace of mind, trust is not something they are willing to gamble with. If they cannot rely on your words, they would rather walk away than waste energy guessing when you will let them down again. So the harsh truth is this. If you want to stay connected with a Sigma male, your actions must match your words. Promises are not just words spoken in the moment. They are tests of character. Break them often enough and you will not just lose his trust, you will lose him completely. Number 2, you take their kindness for weakness. One of the quickest ways to lose a Sigma male is by mistaking his kindness for weakness. Many people see Sigma males as quiet, reserved, or even distant. So when they finally open up and show generosity, it is not something to be taken lightly. Think of it like your heart. The heart quietly works day and night, keeping you alive without ever demanding attention. But if you overload it with unhealthy habits, eventually it shuts down. A Sigma male's kindness works in the same way, steady, powerful, and essential, but not to be abused. Let me make this practical. Suppose a Sigma male lends you money or helps you out when you are in trouble. If you assume he will always rescue you and begin to take advantage of that generosity, he will notice. He might not complain or argue, but inside he is calculating. Once he sees a pattern of misuse, he will quietly close the door on you without hesitation. This is because kindness, to a Sigma male, is a conscious choice, not a default setting. Studies in social psychology confirm that people who are perceived as too agreeable are often targets for exploitation by others. Kaufman et al., Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, 2019. But Sigma males are not agreeable in that sense. They are kind on their own terms. If you cross the line by confusing their compassion with weakness, you will not get a warning. You will simply be cut off. It is also important to understand that Sigma males view respect as the foundation of any relationship. If you take advantage of their generosity, what you are really doing is disrespecting them. And just like a doctor would advise you to avoid habits that silently damage your body, a Sigma will avoid people who silently damage his peace. The harsh truth is this: kindness is not a weakness, it is a strength. When you misuse it, you are not just losing their help, you are losing access to them entirely. Number 3, you push them to be social when they don't want to. One of the quickest ways to make a Sigma male disappear from your life is by forcing him into social situations when he clearly does not want to be there. Sigma males value their space and choose carefully where they spend their energy. When someone keeps pushing them to attend every party, every gathering, or every group activity, it feels less like friendship and more like pressure. And pressure is something they will not tolerate for long. Think of it like sleep. When your body signals that it needs rest, ignoring that signal only leads to exhaustion, irritability, and eventually burnout. In the same way, when a Sigma male signals that he wants quiet time or a smaller environment, ignoring that need can leave him drained and resentful. What might feel like harmless encouragement to you feels like suffocation to him. For example, imagine inviting him to a large event after he already told you he was not interested. If you insist, joke about him being boring, or guilt trip him into going, he may show up once just to be polite. But do not expect him to stay connected for long. He will likely cut back contact with you instead of repeatedly explaining himself. Psychological research supports this. Studies show that introverted personalities, which many Sigma males lean toward, experience higher stress and fatigue in overstimulating environments compared to extroverts. Wilt and Revell, Journal of Personality, 2009. This means what excites you may actually exhaust him. Sigma males are not antisocial, they simply prefer quality over quantity. They would rather have a deep one-on-one conversation than shout over music in a crowded room. If you respect that, you strengthen the bond. If you dismiss it, you risk losing them completely. The harsh truth is this: pushing a Sigma male into constant socializing is like giving someone food they are allergic to. It may look harmless on the surface, but the reaction is real and lasting. Respect their boundaries or watch them vanish without a word. Number 4, you try to compete with them. One of the surest ways to make a Sigma male lose interest in you is by trying to compete with him. Sigma males are not built for rivalry with people they consider friends. They see life as a personal journey, not a scoreboard. When someone starts comparing achievements, money, relationships, or even attention, it immediately feels toxic to them. Think of it like your body fighting against itself. In autoimmune diseases, the body's own defense system begins to attack healthy cells, mistaking them for enemies. The result is exhaustion, pain, and damage that never needed to happen. That is exactly how a Sigma male feels when a friend turns into a rival. What was supposed to be supportive and healthy suddenly becomes draining and destructive. For example, if he shares that he got a promotion, and instead of congratulating him, you respond by saying, "Well, I just bought a new car," it turns a moment of connection into a silent contest. Over time, these little comparisons pile up. What should be encouragement starts to feel like constant evaluation. Sigma males do not thrive in that environment. They simply walk away. Research in social psychology shows that constant social comparison leads to lower well-being and higher levels of envy. Smith et al., Psychological Bulletin, 1999. Sigma males understand this instinctively, which is why they avoid competitive friendships altogether. They believe friendship should feel like cooperation, not a race. They want people who celebrate wins, not people who secretly keep score. And once they sense that you are measuring yourself against them, they lose interest. They will not argue, they will not explain, and they will not try to outdo you. They will simply detach. So here is the truth. If you treat a Sigma male like competition, you will lose him as a companion. He does not want to be your rival, he wants to be your ally. If you cannot offer that, he would rather stand alone. Number 5, you broke their trust once. Breaking a Sigma male's trust is like damaging a vital organ. Once it is injured, it rarely returns to its original state. For a Sigma, trust is not casual. It is the foundation of every relationship. When someone betrays that trust, even once, it is often the end. There's no slow repair, no endless second chances. Think of it like a heart attack. The heart may continue to beat afterward, but the damage leaves a scar that never fully heals. The patient can live on, but life is never quite the same. In the same way, when you break a Sigma male's trust, the bond you once had may look alive from the outside, but inside, it has already been damaged beyond repair. Take an example. If he confides in you about something private and later hears that you shared it with others, he will not confront you with shouting or anger. Instead, he will quietly pull back, observing every move you make. Or imagine you promise loyalty but act differently when he is not around. Once he sees that contradiction, he shuts the door permanently. Psychologists confirm this response. Research in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology, Fechenhauer and Dunning 2009, shows that once trust is broken, people are far less likely to extend it again, even when offered evidence of change. Our brains naturally protect us from repeating the same mistake, and Sigma males embody this principle to the extreme. The reason is simple. Trust, to them, is not negotiable. It is the glue that allows them to let their guard down in a world they often find shallow and manipulative. If that glue breaks, the structure collapses. The harsh truth is this: with a Sigma male, trust is like glass. Strong when whole, but once shattered, it cannot be restored to its original form. Break it once and you are not just losing his confidence, you are losing him for good. Number 6, they see you gossiping. One of the quickest ways to lose a Sigma male's respect is by gossiping. The moment they hear you speak badly about others, their mind makes an instant calculation. If you can talk about them behind their backs, you can easily do the same to him. For a Sigma, that is enough reason to quietly step away. Think of it like smoking. At first, one cigarette may not seem harmful, but over time the damage builds up silently until it affects your lungs. Gossip works in the same way. Each word may seem small, but it reveals the health of your character. To a Sigma male, gossiping is like secondhand smoke. It poisons the air around you, and he will not stick around to breathe it in. Take a simple example. Imagine you sit with a friend and all they do is tear down someone who is not present. At first you may laugh along, but deep down you know they could just as easily do the same to you. Sigma males see this instantly. They know a gossip is not trustworthy, so they protect themselves by creating distance. This reaction is not paranoia. Research published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, Willer, Feinberg and Schultz 2012, shows that gossip strongly influences how much people are trusted within groups. Once someone is known for spreading negative talk, their reputation suffers and their social ties weaken. Sigma males who are already selective with relationships have no patience for this risk. They believe real conversations should uplift or solve problems, not tear others down. When you gossip, you reveal that you feed on negativity rather than solutions. That, to them, is a red flag. The harsh truth is this: a Sigma male listens carefully, but he also watches patterns. If he hears you constantly criticize others, he assumes his turn is coming. And when that happens, he will not argue or confront. He will simply disappear, leaving you wondering why. Number 7, you don't respect their space. One of the quickest ways to push a Sigma male away is by not respecting his space. Unlike many people who crave constant attention, Sigma males value breathing room. They recharge in solitude, and when someone tries to fill that space with constant calls, endless texts, or emotional neediness, it does not feel like love, it feels like suffocation. Think of it like oxygen. Your lungs need oxygen to survive, but if someone forces too much air into them, it can actually cause damage. The same principle applies here. Affection and communication are healthy and balanced, but when they are forced, they overwhelm instead of strengthen the bond. Take a real-life example. Imagine a Sigma male spends the evening reading, reflecting, or working on a personal project. If his phone lights up every few minutes with "Where are you?" or "Why aren't you replying?" the interaction stops feeling like care and starts feeling like control. Over time, this makes him associate your presence with pressure, not peace. This reaction is not just personality, it is rooted in psychology. Research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, Harasimchuk and Fair, 2013, shows that too much neediness or clingy behavior often leads to relationship dissatisfaction and withdrawal. People naturally protect their independence, and Sigma males are especially sensitive to this. For them, space is not distance, it is maintenance. Just like muscles need rest after exercise to grow stronger, relationships also need moments of separation to stay healthy. When you respect that, the Sigma male feels safe to stay connected. When you ignore it, he quietly prepares his exit. The harsh truth is this: constant intrusion into a Sigma male's space does not bring you closer, it pushes you further apart. If you want to keep him in your life, learn to balance closeness with freedom. Without that, you will watch him slip away faster than you realize. Number 8, you only take, never give. One of the clearest reasons a Sigma male will cut someone off is when the relationship becomes one-sided. If he notices that every interaction is about what you can take from him and never about what you can give back, he sees it as unhealthy and quietly walks away. Think of it like your body's circulation. Blood flows in two directions, carrying oxygen out and bringing waste back. If the flow only went one way, the system would collapse. Relationships work the same way. There has to be a balance of giving and receiving. When all the energy flows in one direction, the bond becomes weak and unsustainable. For example, imagine a friend who always calls you when they need advice, money, or emotional support, but the moment you need help, they are suddenly too busy. A Sigma male notices this imbalance quickly. He will not complain, argue, or beg for reciprocity. Instead, he will take it as proof of where he stands in your life and quietly remove himself. This behavior is supported by psychology. Studies on reciprocity in human relationships show that balanced exchanges increase trust and satisfaction, while unequal exchanges create resentment and eventual withdrawal. Cropenzano and Mitchell, Academy of Management Review, 2005. Sigma males embody this principle strongly because they dislike wasting energy on people who do not value them equally. It is important to note that Sigma males are naturally generous. They will give time, advice, or support freely, but they also observe carefully. If they see a pattern where their kindness is being drained without any effort from you to give back, they will view it as exploitation, and once they reach that conclusion, there is no conversation or warning. The connection simply ends. The harsh truth is this: a relationship with a Sigma male cannot survive on one-way traffic. If you only take and never give, you are not building a bond, you are draining it. And when the balance tips too far, he will cut the cord, leaving you wondering what went wrong. Number 9, you show hidden jealousy. Hidden jealousy is one of the fastest ways to lose a Sigma male. They have a sharp sense of observation, and even if you never say it out loud, they can feel when you secretly envy them. To a Sigma, this is a deal breaker because envy poisons trust. And once trust is gone, the relationship is already on life support. Think of it like high blood pressure. At first you cannot see it, but the silent pressure builds up inside the body until it causes serious damage. Hidden jealousy works the same way. You may smile, laugh, or pretend to be supportive, but subtle signals, tone of voice, facial expressions, or backhanded compliments reveal what you truly feel. Sigma males notice these small details, and once they sense envy, they instinctively protect themselves by creating distance. For example, if he shares his success and you respond with forced enthusiasm or immediately try to downplay it, he reads between the lines. Or if you cheer him in public but criticize him when he is not around, he knows. And once he knows, he cannot unsee it. This reaction is not paranoia. Studies in psychology confirm that envy often erodes relationships and creates hidden hostility. Research in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, Smith and Kim, 2007, shows that envy can damage both friendships and workplace bonds, often leading to withdrawal or conflict. Sigma males, who already prefer peace over drama, cut things short before it escalates. They believe friends should celebrate each other, not compete in secret. To them, hidden jealousy feels like a slow betrayal. Instead of waiting to be stabbed in the back, they walk away early. The harsh truth is this: you cannot hide envy from a Sigma male. He will see it in your eyes, hear it in your words, and feel it in your presence. And once he senses it, you will not get confrontation or debate. You will get silence and eventually absence. Number 10, you drain their energy. One of the clearest signs that a Sigma male will cut ties with someone is when he feels his energy constantly being drained. Sigma males are protective of their peace, almost like a doctor protecting their own health. If being around you leaves them feeling more exhausted than uplifted, they see it as a warning sign and act quickly. Think of it like your immune system. When your body detects something harmful, it does not wait for the damage to spread. It fights back immediately. Sigma males treat their energy in the same way. If your presence consistently feels heavy, negative, or demanding, they step away before it harms their mental well-being. For example, imagine a friend who constantly complains, brings problems without solutions, or always expects emotional support without offering any in return. At first, the Sigma male may listen and even help, but over time it begins to feel like carrying someone else's burden while still managing his own. When the scales tip too far, his quiet withdrawal begins. Research supports this response. A study in the Journal of Applied Psychology, Bakker and Demiruti, 2007, shows that emotional exhaustion is a major predictor of relationship strain, both at work and in personal life. People who feel drained are more likely to distance themselves to protect their mental health. Sigma males simply recognize this sooner than most and act without hesitation. This does not mean they lack empathy. In fact, they often have deep compassion. But compassion without boundaries leads to burnout, and Sigma males refuse to live in burnout mode. They choose peace of mind over forced connections. The harsh truth is this: if being around you constantly feels like a weight rather than a balance, a Sigma male will not argue or complain. He will simply protect his energy by cutting ties. To him, his peace is non-negotiable, and once you threaten it, the relationship is already over. Number 11. You play mind games. Sigma males have no patience for mind games. If they sense manipulation, dishonesty, or hidden agendas, they will not argue, plead, or explain. They will simply walk away. To them, relationships are supposed to be straightforward and genuine. When someone starts twisting words, creating confusion, or playing emotional tricks, the connection becomes unhealthy, and they remove themselves. Think of it like medication. When a doctor prescribes a pill, the instructions must be clear. If the label is misleading or the contents are hidden, it is dangerous for the patient. Mind games work the same way. They hide the truth behind confusion, making it risky for anyone involved. Sigma males recognize this risk instantly and avoid it before it causes damage. Take a simple example. If you say one thing but mean another, or if you deliberately withhold information to make them chase answers, a Sigma male will not play along. Or if you use guilt, silent treatment, or emotional baiting to get your way, he will not be pulled into that cycle. Instead of falling into the trap, he disappears, because silence protects him better than confrontation. This reaction is backed by psychology. Studies show that manipulation in relationships erodes trust and creates emotional distress. Research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, Barber 1996, found that psychological manipulation leads to long-term dissatisfaction and emotional withdrawal. Sigma males who value peace and independence are especially quick to choose withdrawal over ongoing manipulation. They believe clarity is a sign of respect. If you cannot communicate honestly, then you are not worthy of their presence. To them, manipulation is not clever, it is childish, and they will not waste their energy playing games that only harm both sides. The harsh truth is this: if you try to manipulate a Sigma male, you will not get a fight or an argument. You will get distance. Once he senses games, the game is already over because he is no longer playing. Number 12, they feel you're fake. One of the quickest ways to lose a Sigma male is by being fake. They may not call you out directly, but they have a strong radar for pretense. If they sense that you're putting on a mask, acting differently depending on who is watching, or saying one thing while believing another, they will quietly walk away without warning. Think of it like your diet. Eating processed food that looks good on the surface but is full of artificial ingredients may fool your taste buds for a while, but your body eventually knows the truth. It reacts sometimes harshly to protect itself. In the same way, Sigma males eventually react to fake behavior by removing themselves. They are not fooled for long. Take a practical example. If you act friendly to their face but mock them in another setting, they will pick up on the inconsistency. Or if you exaggerate your achievements to impress them, they will quietly recognize the lie. Even something as small as laughing at jokes you do not find funny just to fit in can signal insincerity. Sigma males value authenticity so deeply that these little cracks in your behavior raise big questions about your character. Research supports this. A study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, Kiefer et al., 2013, found that people who behave inauthentically experience lower self-esteem and create weaker social bonds because others can sense the lack of genuineness. Sigma males are especially sensitive to this. To them, fake behavior is not just annoying, it is dangerous because it wastes time and energy. The harsh truth is this: Sigma males do not expect perfection, but they do expect honesty. If you are flawed, they will respect your openness. If you are fake, they will never trust you. And once they sense pretense, they will not confront or warn you. They will simply vanish, leaving you wondering what happened. Number 13, you bring too much drama. One of the clearest reasons a Sigma male will cut someone off is constant drama. For him, drama is like secondhand smoke. He may not be the one lighting the fire, but breathing it in still damages his peace. If your life is always surrounded by noise, arguments, or endless complaints, he will not lean in closer. He will step back quietly. Think of your body when it is under stress. If you're constantly rushing, worrying, and filling your mind with negative energy, your blood pressure rises, your sleep suffers, your immune system weakens. The chaos eventually takes a toll on your health. In the same way, being around someone who thrives on drama feels like living in a constant state of stress. A Sigma male's mind quickly recognizes that and pulls away for protection. For example, if every time you meet, the conversation revolves around who betrayed you, who annoyed you, or what conflict you are caught in, he begins to feel drained. He is not avoiding problems altogether, but he sees no reason to live in chaos when peace is possible. Research supports this. Studies in health psychology show that exposure to stressful social interactions raises cortisol levels, the hormone linked to stress and anxiety, Miller et al., 2007. Over time, these small doses of chaos damage both emotional stability and physical health. Sigma males know this instinctively, which is why they do not tolerate unnecessary drama. The harsh truth is that Sigma males are not cold for walking away. They are simply refusing to let unnecessary noise become poison in their lives. They value balance, clarity, and calm. If someone brings only storms without sunshine, they see no reason to stay. For them, walking away from drama is not rejection. It is self-preservation. In final words. So here is the reality. When a Sigma male cuts you off, it is rarely sudden without cause. It happens because small patterns built up over time until he could no longer ignore them. Whether it was broken trust, constant pressure, hidden jealousy, or simply the draining of his peace, he acts the same way you would act if your health were at risk. He removes the problem before it destroys the system. Think of your body again. If your doctor tells you that certain habits are damaging your heart, you do not wait until it fails before making changes. You pay attention, you take the warning seriously, and you adjust. Sigma males treat their relationships the same way. The moment something feels toxic, false, or harmful, they step back to protect their well-being. This is why you should pay close attention to the reasons we have covered. Not only will it help you understand why a Sigma male may have walked away from you, but it can also help you reflect on how you show up in your other relationships. For example, if you notice yourself over-calling, over-texting, or ignoring someone's need for space, that is a habit worth changing. It is not just about keeping a Sigma male close. It is about respecting human boundaries in general. Take care of your relationships the same way you take care of your health. Ignoring symptoms never ends well. Understanding the harsh truths behind why Sigma males cut people off can help you avoid repeating the same mistakes and build stronger, more balanced connections. Stay with this video until the very end, because each point we discussed is like a diagnosis. The more you understand them, the better you can protect both your peace and your relationships. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.